Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Wisdom Seekers University.
One more again, I'm going in like that ATL. Oh, one more again, I'm going in like that ATL. Oh, one more again, I'm going in like that ATL. Off the top, you only got one life to live.
Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. And today we're going to be talking about mourning. It's a beautiful morning. Alright, so let's get into it. So morning is the period of time between midnight and noon, especially from sunrise to noon. Alright, so let's go down to sometimes confused with so you see it's from morn, right? Let me put this in my lap so we can get to it. So I already got everything carved out for y'all. So morning come from morn, right? So let's go with the morn. Boom. Let's run through this, man. I'm trying to do this less than an hour if I can. All right. So morn is a term for morning. And then it's Morgan. All right. Now Morgan is in the Netherlands, South Africa, and parts of the U.S. A measure of land between, a measure of land equal to about 0.8 hectare or 2 acres. In Norway, Denmark, and Germany, a measure of land now equal to 0.3 hectare or 2/3 of an acre. So we see it mean morning and all that. All right. So let's go to, now we're getting to the mythological stuff. All right. So Morgan, mythological creature. Morgans, Moriel Morgans, or Welsh, you know what I mean? Water spirits, all right? You see they say water spirits and drown men. They lure men to their death by their own sylphic beauty, or with glimpses of underwater gardens with buildings of gold and crystal. All right. So yeah, I got this thing a little big so y'all can see. But if you look at it on the right, you can see it a little more clearly. So it's a Morgans, or Mari Morgans, are Welsh and Breton water spirits that drown men. Okay. Y'all remember the other part already. So let's go to the sylphic deal. So now sylphic is a slim, graceful woman or girl. In the occult philosophy of Paracelsus, a being that has hair as its element. All right. So it says New Latin, sylpha, perhaps blend of Latin silvestris, of the forest, from Silvia, silva, forest, and Latin nympha, nymph, see nymph. All right. So now, moving on to the next deal. Now it's water spirits. Give me 1 second, y'all. Put this phone on mute. All right. So now We on water spirits. See some images of water spirits. All right. So let me see if it defined water spirits for you. So a water spirit is a kind of supernatural being found in the myth and folklore of many cultures. Contents: African, Celtic, Germanic, ancient Greek. Of course, it's more that's in Wikipedia. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I know people be hating on Wikipedia. It's a small being, human in form, playful, and having magical powers. This one in the Free Dictionary says water spirit, a fairy that inhabits water, water sprite, water nymph, fairy, you know, like the little fairies you see on the little mystical, magical animations and all that. So it's letting you know that's what the fairy is too. And you see that it means Sprite. So when we drink Sprite, or the company name Sprite may be basing their name off of this fairy. As a matter of fact, let me define Sprite right quick. HSC. Define name Sprite. All right, a sprite is a spirit, a mythical, fairy-like creature who lives by water. Elves and fairies can be described as sprites. So elves as well, right? And so can the water nymphs from ancient Greek mythology. Sprite comes from the Old French as spirit or spirit, and the Latin root spiritus. All right, so now we get that. So let's go ahead and check out water nymphs while we at it. All right, so it says siren, habitat, anybody of fresh water. In Greek mythology, the naiads are a type of female spirit or nymph presiding over fountains, wells, springs, streams, brooks, and other bodies of fresh water. All right, so y'all see that? Y'all see it's talking about feminine energy for the most part. Let's read it over here on the right, see what it's talking about. Oh, look, check this out. Let's read it from the top. A nymph in ancient Greek folklore is a supernatural being associated with many other female nature spirits that are often associated with the air, seas, woods, water, or particular locations and landforms. All right, mythology, Greek mythology, similar creatures, the mermaid, Hodra, Selkie, Cyrene, grouping, legendary creature, subgrouping, nature spirit. All right, so the spirit of nature. If it was to be put into a group, it's the spirit of nature. All right, even though they're putting it in mythological creatures and all that. All right, so now back to morning again. We already see what it is, noon and all that. So let's go to the next one. All right, so done. I think I wanted to show y'all, that's why I went back to morning, to show y'all where I got done from. Now I want to show y'all something, because I've told y'all this on many other videos. And I'm going to tell you again this time, because it is a shame how they try to hide stuff from me. And, you know, I understand why a lot of people say, yeah, these dudes are like Google scholars or whatever the case, right? And I understand that. So for the people who does gain all of their information from Google or whatever the case, you have to know how to navigate through it. So for instance, we just defined this word, right? And many people don't know that you can click on this arrow right here, even though it says it clear as day, for other translations, word origin, and more definitions. But the problem is that we typically look at the first definition and run with that. Okay, so now we know morning to mean the period of time between midnight and noon, especially from sunrise to noon. We know that. It's the AM. Everybody know that, right? But I want to show y'all, though, just on GP, that it is more translations, right? And so sunrise is a definition that they hid. For what reason, I don't know, except for my opinion of why they did. The only thing I have is my opinion. So now, when you look at some of these synonyms, you see that it can mean many things than just morning, to give you a wider concept of what it means. All right, so now you see it can mean dawn, daybreak, sunrise, break of day, first of light, sun up, crow, cock crow, rooster crow or whatever, day spring, dawning, and aurora. Every morning, right? Informal, all that. But I want to piggyback off of done. That's what I want to build off of. I want to click on bun, right? On done.
What's up, Dad?
All right, give me 1 second, son. I'm recording right now. All right, yeah, better get ready to eat my food in a minute. But let me keep on moving. So check it out. So let's go ahead and go to done right quick. So done is the first appearance of light in the sky before sunrise. Daybreak, break of day, crack of dawn, I'm reading synonyms. Sunrise, first light, daylight, dawning. First thing in the morning, early morning, cock crow, sun up, dawning, peep of day, aurora, day spring. All right? So now let's go to the second definition. It's the beginning of a phenomenon or period of time, especially one considered favorable. Now let's check out some of these interesting definitions. And I want you guys to keep in mind that we started from morning, and to also have you to realize how it's so important to follow the trail. Okay, synonyms are beginning, start, birth, inception, conception, origination. Origination, genesis, emergence, advent, coming, appearance, debut, arrival, dawning, rise, starting point, or origin, launch, institution, inauguration, opening, initiation, onset, outset, unfolding, development, infancy, day one, kickoff, the word go, commencement, okay? And a verb, which, another definition, rather. I'm just trying to show you guys where I'm at. Of a day, begin. All right? Synonyms: begin, open, break, arrive, emerge, lighten, brighten. Second definition: become evident to the mind, be perceived or understood, right? It dawned on me. It dawned on me. It became evident to my mind. I was able to perceive and understand it. Right? So now check out the synonyms. I'm just going to read the one just highlighted. Well, actually, I go ahead and read them all because this is a university, This ain't elementary school. It's occur to, come to mind, spring to mind, enter someone's mind or head, come into someone's head, mind, strike, hit, register with, enter someone's consciousness, flash across someone's mind, pass through someone's mind, cross someone's mind, suggest itself. All right, let's click on the bottom. From dawn to dusk is phrases all day, ceaselessly. All right, so dunning. So let me click on dunning real quick because let me go to dunning. Dunning is next. So now dunning is done. All right. The beginning or first appearance of something. This is one of my keys too. The beginning or first appearance of something. So now understand that done does not necessarily have to mean, the morning, even though it's interchangeable because it is the beginning of the day. The morning is. Now, the second definition, let's get into the adjective. In literary form, both of those were literary. I should point that out. Is beginning to grow light, right? So understand, man. It's saying beginning to grow light. Is what another word for dunning is. Second definition, coming into existence. Coming into existence is dunning. For the ones that's super deep, I already know. Man. I already know. For real. Ain't it? For the ones that don't know, you know what I'm saying? Ain't it heavy? Yes, it is. The neuron's working. The inner man, the inner you, is on some super communication type process right now. That's why I'm letting it marinate for a second. Check out what that means. Done. The beginning or appearance of something. Beginning to grow light. Coming into existence. Right? Another definition under the category of coming into existence. Becoming evident to the mind. Becoming. Not already is, right? You have to become what you wish to be, right? All right. So now, Middle English, alteration of earlier dunning from Old English, delgion, meaning to dun, of Germanic origin, related to Dutch, Dagen, and Jeremy Tagen, also today. It takes us back into the definition of done, right? Which we already been through that. So now, we see that this done or morning can mean many things, right? It could definitely mean, at the least, something concerning your mind, as far as enlightenment and all that. And it can mean the sun coming out. All right. So now that we understand this first phase, let's slide on into some more. So these are, this is the capstone of everything I just showed you guys so far, right? So this is a bunch of definitions. Well, you see right here. It says 46 Bible verses about done. Okay? And I typed in KJV, so I think it's the KJV version. But at any rate, check this out. So my objective, just so you know, is first of all, you guys know about the enlightenment part of done and all that, and we know about the literal part of done or morning. So what I want you to peep in the scriptures, that there is a literal part, a literal meaning, right? And there is a secondary meaning, or deep meaning, I should say. God moved upon the face of the deep. God's spirit moved upon, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So we got the surface layer, the part that everybody is supposed to get out top, like what their intention is for the ones that's not trying to really get it. But the hidden part is the most important part. Like, I ain't gonna say necessarily the most important like that. It still go hand in hand, right? But it's just like your spirit and your flesh. You know, your spirit is the part that you can't see, the invisible aspect of you. But you see the flesh aspect, and that's supposed to be the weaker aspect of you. So let's go ahead and start getting into it. So we're reading that Amos 5 and 8. He who made the Pleiades, or whatever they say, and Orion, and changed the deep darkness into morning. All right? So it's saying that darkness get turned into morning right here in this scripture. And it says, who also darkens day into light, into night, who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the surface of the earth. The Lord is his name. So it says the same one that turns darkness into morning, and the same one that turns, which is synonymous with day, right? So now I want y'all to see something, because it's very prevalent that y'all understand how the word is written, which I know y'all get it, right? I know y'all understand that it's saying the darkness get turned to day, the day get turned to night, and all that. But I want y'all to repeat the word play. It says, changes deep darkness into morning, right? Who also darkens day. Okay? So the darkening of day is the morning. You see? Into night, which is darkness. But you see how they pulled the trigger to have, if you wasn't paying attention, you would think darkness mean the night. But even though, they say day, so you would catch on, right? But you see how they interchanged it. It's like a flip-flop. It's like male, female. You see? This one they related to today, dark as day. But they use the word dark in it. But this darkness, they related to night. Because it's night. You understand what I'm saying? It's like yin yang. Yin yang. All right? But this darkness really go with this night. You understand? And this morning really go with this darkest day. And I'm trying to show y'all, instead of using the word darkness, deep darkness, as a matter of fact, deep darkness. Peep the adjective deep. Deep darkness. What kind of darkness? Deep darkness. And related that with night. So night is synonymous with deep darkness. Okay? All right. So it says, who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the surface of the earth. The Lord is his name. All right. So now, since y'all understand what that is, you know what I mean? But y'all see that they're talking about the Almighty God, you know what I mean, that does all this. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, let me show y'all what I'm saying next. It says, it's as the light of the morning when the sun rises. It's as the light of the morning when the sun rises. A morning without clouds, when the tender grass springs out of the earth, through sunshine after rain. All right? So, the hidden meaning, when everybody has to go through the rain in order to get to the sunshine. You see? That's just how it is. All right? When you are tender, when the tender grass springs out of the earth, through sunshine after the rain. When you're born, it's all these kind of things. It's so many ways you can put it in places, so many directions you can go, so many ways you can see it. There's so many eyes out here, right? So now on to the next one, because we got a lot of them. I don't think I'm going through all 46. The first layer of them, where you'll get the gist. All right, so in Job it say, his sneezes flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. His sneezes flash forth light, and his eyes are the eyelids of the morning. Okay. So now in Genesis, it says, now he arose that same night and took his 2 wives and his 2 maids and his 11 children and crossed the ford of the Jabbok or Jobok. He took them and sent them across the stream. And he sent across whatever he had. Then Jacob was left alone. And a man wrestled with him until daybreak. All right? So everybody should know about that story when they say Jacob wrestled with God. So I want you to understand about the daybreak deal. Like I said, you go through your darkness, and then when you make it to the other side is when the day break. You understand? When everything pan out, when everything go how you want it to go, it's like, man, it's really going down. Or it's really going up, rather. It's really going up. Yeah. So, to me, that's how I see it on the esoteric aspect of it. Even though it appears to be saying what it's saying, though. All right? So Samuel, 1 Samuel, then Saul said, let us go down after the Philistines by night and take spoil among them until the morning light. And let us not leave a man of them. And they said, do whatever seems good to you. So the priest said, let us draw near to God here. Right? Peep game. It says, then Saul said, let us go down after the Philistines by night and take spoil among them until the morning light. And let us not leave a man of them. And they said, do whatever seems good to you. So the priest said, let us draw near to God. So they just giving you another example of how everything not of God has to be cut off, cut loose. You see? And you notice they use the contrast again between night and day. So it goes together, you know? All right, next. Then Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he was holding a feast in his house, like the feast of a king, and Noah's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunk, so he did not tell him anything at all until the morning light. Okay? Same thing again about this morning light. Showing you that okay, understand now, right? Listen to what it said. It said, then Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he was holding a feast in his house, like the feast of a king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him. Okay? It say, for he was very drunk. So she did not tell him anything at all until the morning light. So, okay, he's having a feast, but they really saying too, well, another way that they're saying it as well, is that he was very drunk off knowledge and understanding. He didn't really know how to really put it all together. Okay? But when he received the morning light, he got it. He understood. Right? So now, let's go on to the next one. And they took up a shell and buried him in his father's tomb, which was in Bethlehem. The Job and his men went all night until the day dawned at Hebron. It says, then Job and his men went all night until the day dawned at Hebron. Okay? At first it said, and they took up Asherah and buried him in his father's tomb, which was in Bethlehem. So understand the symbolic deal right here. They saying they buried him. You know what I'm saying? They said, what they say again? They say they took up Asherah. They say they buried him in his father's tomb, right? So it's showing you like death again. Death represents darkness. Death represents night, right? Not understanding, lack of understanding, however you want to look at it. Mystery, secrets. I'm telling y'all, this is how it is. Gotta peep the wordplay so that you can get the divine understanding. Once you get past the idea that you know that is characters, biblical characters, meant to gain more understanding, which is all about your mind, really. Okay, now next. 2 Samuel 17:22. Then David and all the people who were with him arose and crossed the Jordan. And by dawn, not even one remained who had not crossed the Jordan. All right, same deal again to show y'all the same interchange. It says, then David and all the people who were with him arose and crossed the Jordan. And by dawn, not even one remained who had not crossed the Jordan. Okay? So that's either everybody crossed the Jordan and made it, or the ones that didn't make it didn't remain. All right? But either way it go, is that you know Jordan is something to be crossed. And if we follow the rest of the examples of what they were talking about earlier, we're talking about crossing to the God Almighty, going to the right side. And I would have to say everybody made it, because it started out saying, it said, then David and all the people who were with him arose, right? All of them, and crossed the Jordan. And then they hit you with the semicolon to let you know they're about to explain it again in a different way. Just in case you didn't understand the first time. It's about to strengthen that thought. And it say, and by dawn, right? By the morning time, by the sunrise, not even one remained who had not crossed the Jordan. See, right here, it'll be easy to take it as either or, like I was saying. You could take this as saying everybody didn't make it across the Jordan, right? Or you could take it as everybody made it across the Jordan. That's the importance of the semicolon. So it's like once you read the first part of it, You can see everybody made it across the Jordan, though. Everybody made it across the Jordan. But the second phase is the paradox. The second phase is the paradox. It's to see if you're paying attention or not. You know. I think y'all might be able to see what I'm saying. All right. So now, let's keep going. Psalms 130:6. My soul waits for the Lord more than the watchman for the morning. Indeed, more than the watchman for the morning. You see how they did it again? Just in case you didn't get it, right? It say, my soul waits for the Lord more than the watchman for the morning, right? So it says, the watchman, he watched harder than the watchman for the daylight to come, right? He said, his soul does. He said, my soul waits for the Lord more. My soul does than the watchman does. So who's the watchman? The flesh is the watchman. The soul looks more, though. The soul is inside of the flesh. The soul looks for the sun more, right? Look for the morning. And say, indeed, more than the watchman for the morning. Right? So it's rephrasing it. Well, not really rephrasing it, but it's telling you the same thing again, emphasizing it. All right? And then when you read the whole thing, you'll get it a lot more, you'll get an even better understanding. All right, let's keep going. I don't want to get stuck too long on certain ones because I got a lot more to show y'all and tell y'all. All right, Job 7, 3 through 4. So I am allotted months of vanity, and nights of trouble are appointed me. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise? But the night continues, and I am continually tossing until done. So that's another encrypted message, right? So we know the story literally saying that, hey, he was going through all these trials and tribulations. We know the story of Job. And all these things was happening to him, you know. But now that we understand that done can mean like enlightenment and stuff like that, you see. Not only like some real sun coming out, the real morning. You know, it's like the development. The trials and tribulation, the tests, right, so to speak. Until morning comes, until the grass get greener on the other side, you know. I just wanted to show y'all that on the last part after continues to come. And I am continually tossing until done, right? How many people feel like they've been living months of vanity? How many people had so many nights of trouble they felt like there was a point to them? You know, when you lay down at night, you be like, man, when am I going to rise? When is going to be my turn to shine? You feel me? But the night continues, you know. It seems like things never ease up. And then you just continue and toss and turn until done, until the sun shine again, baby. And it's gonna shine. It's gonna shine again for the ones that's experiencing those nights. All right. So now, Psalms 46:5. It said God is in the midst of her. He in the midst of her. They already explained who the her is. When we was looking at definitions and all that, you know. Her is the wisdom, the understanding, and the knowledge. You know. All right. They say she will not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. All right. So it's letting you know again, during the nighttime, it may seem tough. You know what I mean? Everything might seem like it ain't going the way you wanted to go or whatever the case. But God will continue to help you. He will continue to help you until the morning dawns, until the sun shines again, you know? Real talk. Even though you can look at it as the real story, like I'm saying. But if you really want to receive the power, you have to eternalize it or internalize it to yourself, right? Because that's the intention. It's the book of morals, the book of understanding. And all that getting, get understanding, right? All right, so now it says, I want to say I'm on, it says, Abigail never saying that she took a shower, read the tomb. Then David and all the people arose from the Jordan and done. I don't know which one I'm on. I can't see. My family want to keep talking to me right now, but it's all good. I'm trying to see which one I was on. I think it probably just slid down on me. I done lost track, y'all. Bear with me for 1 second. Say my soul waits for the watchman for the morning indeed. I know y'all probably saying, I know which one you're on, man. You on this one. But I can't see it. He said, God's in the midst of her. She will not be moved. That's where I was at. I was on Psalms 46:5. Right there. Psalms 46:5. So now I'm on Isaiah 21:12. Isaiah 21:12. It say the watchman says, morning comes, but also night. If you would inquire, come back again. Okay? The watchman says, now, you know, we just heard about the watchman earlier. Morning comes, but also night. If you would inquire, come back again. All right. So now, Isaiah 38:13. I compose my soul until morning. Okay? I compose my soul until morning, like a lion. So he breaks all my bones. From day until night, you make an end of me. From day until night, you make an end of me. Okay? That's when you go to sleep, you know? Everybody go to sleep at night. That's how I see it. Trying to get this thing rolling on down. Well, it's not rolling right for me. Guess I'm gonna click the old fashioned way. I want to get the computer loading up or something. moving slow on man. It's all good. We're gonna keep tick-tocking. That's for sure. All right. Scroll on back down again. They scroll all the way. They scroll all the way up. All right. Let's see. I guess it's a little delay, ladies and gentlemen, as y'all can see. Well, we're gonna get it back up though. That's messed up. I just feel like my stream being tapped into. I don't have no slow problems. It's a new computer actually. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah. It's looking like it's froze, people. There we go. Come on now. Now I gotta find where I was at again. All right. I remember that's what my marker was. All right. Like opposed to the morning, like a line. All right, I'm on Acts 27:29. Acts 27:29. Fearing that we might run around somewhere on the rocks, they cast forth anchors from the stern and wished for daybreak. They cast four anchors from the stern and wished for daybreak. Okay? It say, then the king arose at dawn at the break and went in haste to the lion's den. Then the kings arose at dawn at the break of day and went in haste to the lion's den. Okay? It says, when morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, up, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the punishment of the city. So it's time to go when the sun rise. Say, then on the seventh day, they rose early at the dawning of the day and marched around the city. And behold, when he and the people who are with him come out against you, you shall do them whatever you can. You heard that? It says, in the morning, I'm on Judges 9:33. In the morning, as soon as the sun is up, you shall rise early and rush upon the city, and behold, when he and the people who are with him come out against you, you shall do them whatever you can. Okay? So it's letting you know the morning is about action, dawning, you know. Judges 16:2. When it is told to Gazites, saying, Samson has come here, they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the gate of the city. And they kept silent all night, saying, let us wait until the morning light. Then we will kill him. Want to take your lights out. Pay attention. People try to take out your lights, right? Put your lights out. 1 Samuel 19:11. Then Saul sent messengers to David's house to watch him in order to put him to death in the morning. But Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, if you do not save your life tonight, tomorrow you will be put to death. So now this is David's wife, but this is David's consciousness, his common sense telling him, you need to make a play, David. Matthew 28:1. Now after the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to look at the grave. Now after the Sabbath, as it began to dawn, after, right? So the Sabbath is darkness. The Sabbath is night. And it say, as it began to dawn, after it, toward the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to look at the grave. All right. So, Mark 16:2. Very early on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Very early on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Okay? Now you see the encrypted message in that. Instead of them saying S-O-N, they say S-O-U, they say S-U-N. Mark 16:2. Verily, on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Verily, on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Luke 24:1. But on the first day of the week, at early dawn, they came to the tomb, bringing the spices where they had prepared. Well, which they had prepared. On the first day of the week, at early dawn, they came to the tomb, bringing the spices which they had prepared. All right? So it's like during the night, they got their preparation on. The spices is making your words seasoned with salt, having wisdom and understanding, being able to discern between good and evil. You understand? Or you overstand or understand. I overstand what I understand so that I can understand. You understand me? So that I can understand what I understand. All right? So now, Mark 1:35, in the early morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went away to a secluded place and was praying there. So you got to get up in your darkness and move towards the light. Right? See, because we understand in all these scriptures, right? We're talking about moving from the darkness into the light. So this is another cryptic message. It says, what did it say now? In the early morning. In the early morning, when it was still dark. All right? So now understand, when you be still, right? When you still in your darkness, when you're going through something and you don't do nothing about it, when you just sit around and complain every day, just complain, but you never get up You never get up and do something about your situation. You understand? That's why I say Jesus got up. He got tired of being still in darkness and went away to a secluded place. Went into itself. Went inside. And when he went inside, he started praying there. He started praying there. He started believing in himself. You know? Now, Luke 4:42. When they came, Jesus left and went to a secluded place, right? And the crowds were searching for him and came to him and tried to keep him from going away from them. Right? Listen, it's saying Jesus started tapping into that real understanding, that real knowledge. And he started losing the people. They was trying to find where he was at. And he was trying to keep him from leaving. They was trying to make him hold on to things that didn't make sense. You understand? Calling themselves trying to save him, so to speak. To me, that's the cryptic message. All right, Luke 4:42. All right, that's what I just read. Now, Luke 22:66. When it was day, the council of the elders of the people assembled, both chief priests and scribes, and they led him away to their council chamber, saying, which y'all see, we just reading what it's saying right now. We ain't going too deep into it. It says, when it was day, the council of elders of the people assembled, both chief priests and scribes, right? And they led him away to their council chamber. Okay, so that's cryptic again. I'm gonna keep saying it because I want y'all to understand the paradoxes, how something can seem to be one way, but it's really another thing. You understand? Yes, you can literally look at it saying, hey, they was about to crucify him or whatever the case. But when you understand what's really being said between the day and the night and all this kind of stuff, you won't get lost in what they want you to get lost in. You won't get lost in the wilderness. All right. John 8:2. Early in the morning, he came again into the temple. And all the people were coming to him. And he sat down and began to teach them. Okay? He said, early in the morning, he came again into the temple. And all the people were coming to him. Right? Just explained again already in another scripture about the elders, the council of the elders and the people assembled, the chief and the scribes. Those are the people that came to him. Okay? The people, the other disciples and apostles. Right? So, Acts 27:33. Until the day was about to dawn, Paul was encouraging them all to take some food. Paul was encouraging them all to take some food, saying, today is the 14th day that you have been constantly watching and going without eating, having taken nothing. It say until the day was about to dawn. Paul was encouraging them all to take some food, saying, today is the 14th day that you have been constantly watching and going without eating, having taken nothing. Okay? 14 days, that's 2 weeks. Okay? 14, that's 1 and 4, that's 5. 5 is half of 10. That's the even. That's the balance. That's until the day was about to dawn. So it wasn't done yet. We're talking about some 12 o'clock type stuff. Okay, but anyway, I don't want to lean too left or right. Now, how you say that? Nehemiah 4:21. So we carried on the work with half of them, holding spears from dawn until the stars appeared. So we carried on the work with half of them, holding spears from dawn until the stars appeared. Okay. Nehemiah 8:3. He read it from before the square. He read from it before the square, which was in front of the water gate from the early morning until midday. You see, I was just saying something about midday, 12 o'clock and all that. In the presence of men and women, those who could understand, and all the people were attentive to the book of the law. It says he read it. He read from it before the square, which was in front of the water gates, from early morning until midday. In the presence of men and women, those who could understand. And all the people were attentive to the book of the law. Okay. Isaiah 9:2. The people who walk in darkness will see great light. Those who will live in a dark land, the light will shine on them. Okay. Revelation 22:16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify to you these things for the churches. I am the root and the descendant of David, the bright morning star. Hold up now. Y'all see this? Jesus is the bright morning star, right? It say, I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify to you these things for the churches. I am the root and the descendant of David, the bright morning star. All right, Numbers 24:17. That verse is going to be pretty important in a minute, y'all. I'm going to double back on that. Numbers 24:17. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come forth from Jacob. A scepter shall rise from Israel, and shall crush through the forehead of Moab, and tear down all the sons of Sheth. Matthew 4:16. The people who were sitting in darkness saw a great light, and those who were sitting in the land and shadow of death, upon them a light dawned. All right, it say the people were sitting in darkness saw a great light. The people who were sitting in darkness saw a great light. And those who were sitting in the land. All right? So it's telling you that the people that were sitting in darkness is the land, right? Darkness and land is being used synonymously. Get caught up on words, right? It's in the shadow of death upon them, light dawned. So it's kind of like a flip-flop again. It says the people who were sitting in darkness saw a great light. And those same people who were sitting in the land, sitting in the darkness, right? And the shadow, okay, of death. Let them know what this darkness was. Upon them a light dawned. So going through this darkness again until you get into the light. Took me, it was kind of difficult to explain that one. I don't know why. I was fumbling. But yeah, we made it through. Y'all get what I'm saying, for sure. Check out the magic on these with these words, man. Check out the spells. They can easily be cast upon you if you're not really paying attention. All right. So Luke 1:78-79. Because of the tender mercy of our God, with which the sunrise from on high will visit us, to shine upon those who sit in darkness and the shadow of death, to guide our feet in the way of peace. Okay? Because of the tender mercy of our God, with which the sun rise from on high will visit us, to shine upon those who sit in darkness and the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. So it's recapping what it was just explaining in the other scripture that I was just explaining. And it's saying you will be guided into the way of peace. So when they say upon them a light dawned in Matthew 4:16, it's saying their feet was guided to the way of peace. All right. So John 1:4-5. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness,
and the darkness did not comprehend it. So now, this stuff that I'm telling y'all, men didn't comprehend. And remember that that I was saying that your flesh is like the darkness or whatever the case, and your spirit is the light. Your life force is the light. Your soul is the light, aka your light body, aka soul, meaning sun, solar. Okay? And the darkness didn't comprehend the light. All right. So John 8:12. Then Jesus again spoke to him, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life. You understand? Now you know that he is representing the light of life. So life is the light. You understand? Okay, Psalms 37:6. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your judgment as the noonday. Okay? He will bring forth your righteousness as the light. So the light is righteousness as well. And your judgment as the noonday, as. So use that as a metaphor. All right, Psalms 112:4. Light arises in the darkness for the upright. He is gracious and compassionate and righteous. Judges 5:31. Thus, let all your enemies perish, O Lord. But let those who love him be like the rising of the sun in its might. And the land was undisturbed for 40 years. Psalms 57:8. Awake, my glory, awake. Harp and lyre. I will awaken to dawn. Psalms 108:2. Awake, harp and lay. I will awaken to dawn. Proverbs 4:18. But the path of righteousness is the light of dawn that shines brighter and brighter until the full day. You hear that? It says, but the light of the righteous is like the dawn of day. Or is the wow. It says, but the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn that shines brighter and brighter until the full day. So that you know the full day is when it dawns. You see? It all goes hand in hand. Now, Isaiah 58:8. Then your light will break out like the dawn, and your recovery will speedily bring forth, and your righteousness will go before you. The glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Now, let's say this again. Excuse me, y'all, for the alarm with my neighbors. It says, Isaiah 58:8. Then your light will break out like the dawn, and your recovery will speedily spring forth, and your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. You understand that? Y'all understand that? Well, it says, and your recovery will speedily spring forth, and your righteousness will go before you. Your body, your spirit, your righteous, your spirit, your body, And they say the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. So now, let's see what else we have. I think we almost finished, people. So it says from the Thematic Bible, I don't know what that is, but let's read them. It says, the night is almost gone and the day is near. Therefore, let us lay aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. You see, it says, take off lay aside the deeds of darkness, put on the armor of light. Malachi 4:2. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in its wings, and you will go forth and skip about like calves from the stall. All right. 2 Peter 1:19. So we have the prophetic word made more sure, to which you do well to pay attention as to a lamp shining in a dark place, until the day dawns and the morning star arises in your hearts. So the morning star arises in your heart. And we know we just read a scripture saying that Jesus was the morning star. So it says, so we have the prophetic word made more sure, to which you do well to pay attention. Okay? As to a lamp shining in a dark place. So it lets you know that the prophetic word is in you and you should pay attention to it. And it's like a lamp shining in a dark place until the day dawns. Well, you should listen to a prophetic word until the day dawns for you, until you can hear the prophetic word on your own or speak it or teach it or whatever. And it say, and the morning star shall arise in your hearts. Right? So that's why I say until the day dawns. And when the day dawns, the morning star will arise in your heart. But until then, so we have the prophetic word made more sure. Right? So it letting them know that the words they're speaking, they understand more about what's going on than they do. So they letting them know it'll do them well. Peter letting them know it'll do them well to pay attention as to a lamp shining in a dark place. Like you can't see me shining in this darkness and all this wickedness. You can't see I'm different. And they say, until the day dawns, until it dawns on you, so your light come on. And the morning star arises in your heart. All right? Luke 1:78. Because of the tender mercy of our God, which the sun rise from on high will visit us. Because of the tender mercy of our God, with which the sun rise from on high will visit us. Okay, same type of concept. But it's good to have them all lined up so y'all can understand what's going on collectively. Isaiah 60:1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Okay? Now, since it says topics on dawn, spiritual dawn. 2 Peter 1:19. I think I read this already. That's the one I just read, the last one. So let's read it again. Obviously, we need to read it again. So we have the prophetic word made more sure, to which you do well to pay attention as to a lamp shining in a dark place, So it's like your genie, it's like your lamp in the bottle. You see what I'm saying? Until the day dawns and the morning star arises in your hearts. And we know Jesus is the morning star. Okay? So the concept is to have it rise in your heart. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to this. And I hope y'all gain a whole lot of wisdom out of these different scriptures. So let's keep it moving since we just dealt with done. All right? So now this is truly the second portion. So now let's deal with morning star. So, morning star is a bright planet, especially Venus, when visible in the east before sunrise. So now, you guys remember when it was saying before the sunrise, they were speaking about dawn and all that. So I'm showing y'all how this is related to the morning star so we can gain a better understanding of what's going on in this second portion. So the historical definition is a club with a heavy spiked head, sometimes attached to the handle by a chain. Y'all hear this? It says, historically, a club with a heavy spiked head, sometimes attached to the handle by a chain. Let me look at some pictures and see if it's going to show me what they're talking about, because I know what they're talking about. Y'all might know too. Look, this is what they're talking about. Man. This is called a flail. Listen, y'all. This is taking a whole left that I did not expect. So, when we see this right here, now we know this is referred to a morning star. It say, if you call this a mace, I might hit you. I might hit you with one. See the chain is kind of a giveaway that it's not a mace. But anyway, we see it ain't a mace. We see exactly what it is. We see exactly what it is. Look at those. This is crazy. I never knew, man. This is crazy. That's why we gotta pay attention, y'all. You see different kinds. See morning star. Boom. All day long. The flail is the morning star. Hold on. Look at this. See, they got Jesus up there. That's why we got to look at this stuff, y'all. We got to pay attention. Jupiter, Venus. All right, since we see that part, now let's go back. All right, morning star. Let's click on the rest of the definitions. So that's all they're showing for that. Now, let's go to the next scripture. Next slide. So, morning star. This is day star right here. Day star means morning star or sun. Okay? And it says, first known use of day star before the 12th century in the meaning defined as sense one. Sense one means morning star. Okay? We just saw what that meant. Let's click on it again. Morning star is a bright planet such as Venus, seen in the eastern sky before or at sunrise. Y'all hear this? First known use of morning star was in 1535 in the meaning defined above. Okay? So understand, when they gave people religion, they had you worshiping Venus and all this kind of stuff, the sun and everything else. So just peep game. I'm just trying to, hey, it's up to you. I'm just saying. All right, so now watch. Revelation. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. Okay, Revelation 1 and 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. Okay, that was St. John. That's what we were talking about. The angel, now watch this. It's saying the revelation of Jesus Christ, which gave God unto him to show unto his servants things which shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So you see the angels that you talking about. So the angels gave the game to John, and Christ, Jesus gave the game to the angels, and God gave the game to Jesus. Right? So y'all see the chain of command. So we're getting close to the end now. It say, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Which didst weaken the nations. All right? So it's saying the fact that Lucifer was sent down is why the nation was weak, became weak. They lost understanding. They're saying the fall of Lucifer caused mankind to lose understanding and knowledge. Even though we would look at it as saying, we would look at it as if it's asking a question, but it's not asking a question. It's a, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? That's not a question. It's like a rhetorical question, basically. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right? How art thou cut down to the ground? Like, Lucifer, what happened, bro? Like, come on, man. How you feel? How y'all let them keep you down? How you let them keep you down on the ground? How did y'all let yourselves get weakened, right? It's like the morning light, the morning star, the God Almighty, been suppressed by the people. People don't pay attention to it no more. You know, people been tricked and fooled into thinking that evil is good and good is evil, basically. You see? So let's see what we got next. Because I've been running through this long enough. All right. I don't know why I got this. Okay. It's a Lucifer right here. Trying to see why I got this on. Go back to the top. I don't know why this is on here like this. I don't know how you know that. Okay, let's go up some. Urban Dictionary. It's a background in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. You remember we saw something about 14 already? The king of Babylon is condemned in the prophetic vision of the prophet of Isaiah. And it's called, okay, it's a Hebrew for shining one, son of the morning. Lucifer and this and that. Okay, let's see. Okay, day star. It's a, how are you fallen from heaven, O day star, son of the morning? Okay. Because I think we went through day star already. It could have been nothing too much that I was trying to see. I ain't mean to click on that. Did not mean to click on that. Let's see. Let me try to go back to Daystar right quick. Give me a comparison. But I pretty much showed y'all everything I wanted to show y'all. Y'all can take it or leave it however you want to do it. Y'all already know what it is. I guess I didn't show y'all Daystar already. I need to show y'all Daystar. H180 shot. That's probably what it is. Got too many things open. Let me just go ahead and search it for the sake of saving time. Daystar. All right. So I say Daystar is a planet, especially Venus, visible in the east just before sunrise. The sun. Do y'all see that? The Daystar is a planet, especially Venus, visible in the east just before sunrise. The sun. That's the same thing is said about morning star. Look. It's a bright planet, especially Venus, when visible in the east before sunrise. You see? And we know this means Jesus, right? The morning star. If I ain't mistaken. Yes. It's I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify to you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. So y'all explain to me. Let's see. Okay, son of the morning. Okay, that's what I had on here, I think. Okay, it's it's Urban Dictionary. I mean, it's always right, but this is what it says. It says Isaiah 14:12. We find the Hebrew phrase "Hey Yala," whatever the British call, whatever they say, meaning bright son of the morning, done. Okay, bright, glowing morning star. You see, it's showing us what it means. That it means the same thing as Lucifer. Look, the New International Version, it says, "How have you fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn? You have been cast down to the earth. You who once laid," look at this shit. I almost cussed. But y'all see how I understand, I'm glad that they revealed us the truth, but at the same time, they put on ad-libs on y'all to keep y'all from understanding what it's actually saying, trying to make it seem like Lucifer is a bad person, but at the same time, Lucifer and Jesus is the same. So it's saying, how did you even get in the mix to get cast down like that? How people got tricked to hold you down, into holding you down. That's basically what it's saying to me. Look, it say, how you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who was once laid low. You who once laid low the nations. They switched it up. I don't get what they were saying that much. Laid low the nations. All right. It's how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now let me go back up here and see if they got a question mark or not. Okay, they got exclamation points too. All right, so we see that's not a question. That's definitely not a question. It's just like a rhetorical question, like I said. All right, but y'all see how they switched it up. But yeah, people, I definitely appreciate y'all as always, man, for real. You know, and I hope you guys really understood what was going on. And I'll probably do a part 2 or something like that. Ain't no telling. But until then, y'all stay up and be cool. Thank y'all again for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Wisdom Seekers University.
One more again, I'm going in like that ATL. One more again, I'm going in like that ATL. One more again, I'm going in like that ATL. Off the top, you only got one life to live.